Prohibited items. We're going to be talking about things that you cannot sell on ClickBank. There is, believe it or not, a pretty comprehensive list of things that you can't sell. But, again, most of this stuff is pretty common sense and is not going to fall into the category of most legitimate businesses. Things that are unlicensed. Mentioned already about the fact that you have to have either created the product yourself or have a legitimate license to sell that product, like maybe a private label rights product that you purchased. Unlawful copying of music, movies, etc., things that are copyrighted. What we're talking about here is mostly like a software program. There's a lot of real popular ones out there, right? That like Napster was a big thing about sharing music and stuff like that. And with ClickBank, you can't create a software program that would do something like that. That would facilitate sharing music or movies, things like that. Spyware, so programs that have spyware in them. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? Digital cash, like virtual cash, things that, it's not real substance, but believe it or not, people do try to sell stuff like that online. Products that directly do gambling. Now, I will mention that there are products that teach you how to gamble, like an ebook, something like that teaches you methods, tricks, things like that. And those are usually approved, but software that actually does the gambling can't have that. Whereas this is software that is illegally copied. There are sites that are known as whereas sites. And what happens is people either do a cracked version where they take a program and they make it where you don't have to do a serial number to register it, or they include serial numbers with it, stuff like that. And then they upload it onto a website. People can go there and download. A lot of times they have to pay to be a member of the site or something like that. And when you're talking about, spending $20 for a monthly membership and downloading just one program that normally would cost you $600, that's appealing to a lot of people. So they will set up these sites, and they're usually, again, membership sites. You have the ability to submit a membership site to ClickBank. So what they're saying with this is your membership site can't be on Whereas, or you can't sell access to a site that has that kind of stuff on it. Hacking tools, software programs that facilitate hacking into other computers. I am not sure if there is an ebook that would be approved in that category. I do not believe so, like as far as teaching people how to hack. But, if you're interested, you can search yourself. But I don't believe that would be permissible. And the danger is if something is iffy, it could get approval because of somebody, an agent that's not familiar. But as soon as it's found out, what it is, they can cancel the account and keep all the money that they have not paid you. So if you got something that's even iffy, I wouldn't even touch it. Spamming tools. This could be things like programs that facilitate sending out emails to people that, are not legitimate subscribers. Programs that go out there and try to harvest emails off of websites, any of that kind of stuff. Multi-level marketing programs. You cannot set those up and do them through ClickBank. They won't approve it. Now, there's a lot more than just this list. I've hit on some of the major things, but for the most part, a product will either fall into one of these categories or something very, very similar, or it will not be even, close to one of these categories. So that's what we're looking for. If there is something that is a little bit iffy, you definitely want to check on it. Don't go to the trouble of even creating the product, or definitely don't go to the trouble of submitting it and going through the approval process just to find out that they tell you, disqualified. You can't have that kind of product on ClickBank. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about I tell you what, it would be best to probably stop and go to another video because we're going to talk about vendor requirements, and we're going to get into some specific stuff about your site. So we'll do that in the next video. In this video, we're going to talk about vendor requirements and the basic things that you have to have in place to get your product approved. First off, we've got the pitch page. This could also be referred to as a sales page. This is basically where you tell everything about the product, what they're going to get, what you're providing, what the content actually is covering, that kind of thing. And it's again just your sales page. It's a place where they can read everything. They have to have clear instructions about, or a clear description about what the product is that they're purchasing. Needs to be very clear about how much it's going to cost, whether it's a recurring payment, that kind of thing. And then they've got the buy button there as well. There's also a few other things that we need to have on the pitch page, like it needs to show 60-day money-back guarantee. That has to be visible for them to see. Then we have the thank you page. This page has really the delivery on it. So after they make the purchase, they're on your pitch page, right? And they click the button to order. They'll go to ClickBank's page. They'll fill out all the information. And then when they're done paying, ClickBank is going to send them to your thank you page. On that thank you page, you have to have a visible customer support email address, and that, you don't just create it as a link. It has to show the full email address. You have to have either the way that they can go ahead and download the product right then and there on the thank you page, or you have to have instructions on how they do that, like maybe they are going to receive an email from you within 2 hours or something like that. ClickBank kind of looks down on forcing them to opt into a list. So you want to steer away from that kind of delivery where they would have to opt into a list that would have an autoresponder that would then deliver the product. They really shy away from stuff like that. So chances are they won't approve you if you try to do that. So what you want to do really is right there on the thank you page, tell them thank you very much for purchasing. Here's the customer support email, and here is your product, and they can download it right there. With the thank you page too, I want to make one note. What you call the thank you page should not be thankyou.html because a lot of people will check that out. This is a page that is visible to everybody. You got to make sure that search engines don't index that thank you page. I'll show you how to do that later on. And you don't make it something that people can just guess, like thankyou.html. You need to give it a very kind of like an arbitrary name that has just been made up. And then again, you do something specific to the page so that search engines do not index it. And then after they make the purchase, ClickBank sends them there, and everything is fine and dandy. A valid support email. Not only do you need to show the email address on your thank you page, but that address needs to be something that is going to be answered within 24 hours. Hopefully even sooner than that. But that just means the customer needs to be able to get a hold of you and get a reply within 24 hours. You need to also have technical support pages for the product, using the product, how it is, how to go through it, some stuff like that. It doesn't have to be complicated. Obviously it depends on the complexity of the program or product itself, but you need to support it so that people know, have instructions what to do next and how to go about doing everything. Your products must abide by the law of your country and the law of the United States. So, what you might have to do a little bit of investigation there just to make sure if there's anything questionable. For the most part, it's not even going to be an issue. Your products cannot imply any endorsement whatsoever by ClickBank. And ClickBank is a lot of times referred to as CB. So if you hear that or see it, that's what we're talking about. That means you can't, they really are real careful with even using their name. The product cannot have the name ClickBank in it. You can use CB, but you can't have the name ClickBank in it. Your domain name cannot have the name ClickBank in it. Again, CB is okay, but you don't want to even come remotely close to trying to make the statement that ClickBank approves and or endorses your product. Grounds for immediate rejection right there. Okay, let's look at the vendor checklist of what we're going to be going through here, the process, so that we're ready to get our product submitted. Okay, first off, we need to have a digital product. It's already been discussed. And we need to have picked a format that's going to be compatible with most computer systems that would be downloading it. And the nice thing is, like I mentioned, with Adobe Acrobat Reader, with Flash Video, for example, you're selling a digital downloadable product, and it's through ClickBank, and they had to buy off of your website, right? So we know that the person buying it has internet access. So with the Acrobat Reader and Flash, the video player, we know that they at least have access to getting the latest versions of those. And they're both free, so that's generally the best route to go. If you're doing an audio only, like you could do an MP3, for example, all computers can play MP3, so no worries there. Your own domain name. ClickBank will not approve you if your website is a Blogger blog or if it's a WordPress blog, stuff like that. It has to be your own domain name. You need to get your pitch page and your thank you page ready. Any other pages that you might use for support. We'll talk about a couple of those here in a second. Instructions, for example, stuff like that. You need to have your customer support lined up and ready to go, whether you're going to be doing that yourself or you're going to hire that out. Have the email account created for that so that you know what you're using. And then you might consider having an affiliate page. Now, this page is going to have things like banners that can be used, email, autoresponder messages, stuff like that, that affiliates could come and basically just do like a copy and paste kind of thing to use to promote your product. Now, the reason that I say you have to be careful with that is because typically also on the affiliate page, we have your hop link, which is the link to order as an affiliate. Here's why you got to be careful with that. If somebody comes to your website and they are familiar with ClickBank and they actually have a ClickBank account and they want to purchase your product, let's say they come through an email or an advertisement that you did. Okay, so they come to your website. They're like, okay, I'd like to buy this product, and the product is $50. And they see on an affiliate page, they'll probably click on it. They'll get your ID, and then they will put in their own affiliate link and buy through that, effectively getting a 50% coupon because they're going to get that money back. Now, granted, you got to take that into account that it's going to happen because it is going to happen, but you want to be careful with making that blatant right there on the regular pitch page. What I recommend doing is that you have the affiliate page created, but it is only accessible on the thank you page. So once they have made the purchase, then on the thank you page they can see, oh, I can sign up as an affiliate and promote this product. Another reason why you want to be careful with having that right on the front page is because other affiliates that are going to possibly be interested in promoting the product for you, they won't really like that being there because they know that this kind of thing happens where somebody comes to the page and orders through their own affiliate link. And here's why affiliates don't like it. Let's say that they do advertising or they promote to their list and they try to get people to come and purchase the product from your product. They know that there's going to be people, if it's available, they know there will be people that will, even though they came there through their affiliate link, they'll simply go in, get the affiliate code and punch in their own affiliate ID and then redo it so that they'll get the credit for it. So the first, your genuine affiliate doesn't get the credit for it. The person buys it through their own link. Okay, so affiliates don't like that. That's another good reason to be careful with that and make sure that you put that affiliate information on the thank you page. So they have to go ahead and purchase. Then they go to the thank you page. They can download the product, and then they will see there you can be an affiliate for this product, and they'll see all the banners and all that other kind of stuff. But basically that page is hidden to just the general public, only available to customers. And then you might consider also doing a vendor hop ad. This is just a simple little text kind of advertisement that you can put associate with that product. Reason for it really is just to make affiliates a little bit happier. They can just do a simple cut and paste. You want to make it as simple as possible for these people so that, to promote your product so that they're not going to have any kind of inhibition about promoting your product. So you make it as copy and paste friendly as possible, and then you'll get the most affiliates. Up next, we're going to talk about the ClickBank approval process, and I'll see you in the next video. Just so you know, we're going to be doing some hands-on stuff here really soon where you actually see all of this implemented, but I want to kind of give you kind of like a schooling, if you will, of what the process is so you have an overview of how everything works, you know the requirements, and then when you actually see me implementing it hands-on, that'll just be a refresher and you'll see how easy it is. So let's talk about the ClickBank approval process here. First off, we want to get a ClickBank account. You're going to see me sign up for a brand new account. I've got actually a brand new product that I'm going to be promoting and setting up for you during this training. It's a product on Photoshop, which is a real hot niche, just some tutorial videos. We're going to set that up with a brand new account. Then we're going to set up the website itself. We want to upload the finished product, have all of the stuff, all lined up. I mean, everything. Like you can, what I found, there is one thing that's a little bit tricky that I want to try to help you avoid doing, and that is trying to take your site. Let's say you have a product that you're already selling online and you want to now move it on to ClickBank. It's a little bit tricky to do that if it's an active product that people do purchase regularly. The reason is, in order to get ClickBank approval, you've got to have their payment link on there, and it's not going to work initially. In other words, the payment link has to be there so that the ClickBank people can test that you have everything set up properly, but no purchase is really made. It's in test mode. So the pitfall here is do not try to migrate your existing website over to ClickBank unless you have no sales. Like if you set up a product and a website and before you started promoting it, you're not making any sales, you decided, I'm going to do this on ClickBank, then that's fine. You can still use that domain. But if you have a site with an existing product that is making sales, you're going to want to set up a brand new site just for your ClickBank products. And another reason for that is, let's say you do have a website that's making sales. You possibly already have, traffic generation strategies in place. And honestly, you don't want to, if it's going to be where people are buying from you on a regular basis, you don't want to do that through ClickBank anyway. I mean, why? You're just going to give them a percentage of it that they don't need to have, right? They have no right to it, really. So you want to set up a separate website for the ClickBank product, even if you have it, even if you're selling it somewhere else. You create the product on ClickBank, as in you log into your account, you get the product all set up. I'll show you how to do all of that hands-on, but you don't submit it for approval yet because you still got a little bit of work to do in testing and making sure everything's okay. You're going to create a payment link where this is essentially what people can click on to purchase the product. And then you're going to test the payment link and test the thank you page, make sure that they get redirected properly and that there is, they can download everything, all the links are working, all that kind of stuff. Then once you know everything is working and you have met all the criteria, then you submit it for approval, and a representative, usually within a day or two, it can take 3 days, depends on their workload, they're going to approve that product, or they might come back with some changes that they want you to make. And what we're going to try to avoid is the necessity for those changes. In other words, we are going to try to do everything first time through so that they just like it and it gets approved. You'll be seeing me do that hands-on, and hopefully, if I do everything right, we won't even have to make any changes. But, if something comes up, I'll explain what happens. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the pitch page, the main requirements for that. It needs to have clear descriptive text on the product itself, explain exactly what they are getting, tell them exactly clearly what it's going to cost them. And in other words, you don't want to do stuff that is a little bit fishy on the pitch page, because the representative for ClickBank will review the entire text. So if nobody else ever reads your sales page again, if you do a long-form sales page, if nobody else ever reads it, well, the ClickBank representative, they are going to read it. So make sure that everything in there is, perfect, as far as not doing anything shady or being discreet about something. You want to be very clear. You need to show on the pitch page that you have a 60-day money-back guarantee. And unfortunately, with ClickBank, you are locked into 60 days. You cannot put on there a 90-day money-back guarantee. You can't put on there a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can't put a 1-year money-back guarantee. It has to be exactly 60 days. That is their policy. And then, of course, you need to have your payment link, and you want to have that very clearly visible there on the sales page. Now, if I have time, I want to go into the possibility of doing upsells through ClickBank. But what I will mention right now is what you'll consider, what my advice to you is, if you're going to have an upsell product for ClickBank, what you want to do is hold that off until later. In other words, get the product approved, get everything, as it is standalone, and then we can add the upsell product after that. So don't try to do it all at once. It will just complicate things and make it much more difficult to get the initial approval. All right, now let's talk about your thank you page and what it needs to have. Your thank you page is the page after they make the purchase. They start out on your pitch page, they click the order button, then they're going to go to ClickBank's order processing, where they enter in all their credit card information and stuff like that. And then after they pay, they come to your thank you page. On the thank you page, you want to have clearly visible your support email address, and that needs to be an email address that they will get a response from within 24 hours. And it needs to be written out, not just, click here to email us and then you hyperlink it. It needs to show support@mydomain.com, whatever your website is. And then on the thank you page, we need to either deliver the product right there, as in have download links, or we need to give them instructions on how they're going to get it, when they're going to get it, that kind of thing, so that they know what to expect. Basically, if you follow this mentality, you'll do well not only with ClickBank but with your instructions, and that is simply this. Assume you're probably too intimately involved in your product and the process for ordering, right? Because there will be things that are just apparent to you because you're very intimately related with that product and the whole process. So what you want to do is assume that the person purchasing your product is a complete idiot, and they need step by step every single instruction for what to do. Do not assume that they know anything. Now, I'm not saying, that you do that for your customer support and stuff. No. But as you are creating the thank you page and as you're creating the whole ordering process, kind of have that in the back of your mind. My customer's an idiot. And, not that they are, but what you want to do is take it down to the lowest common denominator and make sure that every single step is outlined exactly what to do, how to do it. It's great if you can have little video tutorials if it's something that's a little bit complicated. Definitely you want to have text that explains what to do next and make it real easy. In other words, like on your thank you page, let's say you had a video training that is 5 videos. You would not put on your thank you page just the text video 1 and video 2 and video 3 and have it hyperlinked so that if they were to click on it, it would download, or if they were to right click and select save as, that it would start to download it. You wouldn't put just video 1 on there and assume that they know it's a hyperlink and they know how to download it. You need to have explicit instructions exactly what to do. And when I actually create all this and put it on ClickBank, you're going to see for yourself what I'm talking about. Now, as far as the order button, I want to mention something to you. This has to do with a PHP redirection script. And when you create your initial order button, your buy link, you're going to get just a code where people will be able to essentially see what it is that it takes to order. They'll see what your ID is, and they could see other things. They'll see which product it is, possibly, things like that. You might want to obfuscate that even better. And what I'll show you when you see me do this through the first step, I'll use the regular buy link that they give you. But what happens is when you upload that, you hover over the order link, the button that they would click on, and in the lower left-hand corner of the browser, you can see the link. Now, them being able to see the link, ClickBank's trying to be pretty good about hiding that kind of stuff nowadays. It used to be that it was very blatantly obvious, and all you had to do was swap out the ID for the purchaser there and put in your own little ID, and you could buy it through them. You could buy through your own link. ClickBank's trying to be a lot better about that, and they're making it more difficult to hash that stuff out. However, you might want to hide it even more, and a good way to do that is with a PHP redirection script. What you do is you create a file, and you name it something like placeorder.php. Inside that file, you simply put this little script. And again, you'll see me do this, so don't worry if it seems a little bit technical, kind of scary. But what you do is where it says your payment link goes here, and I'll even give you a copy of this PHP file, and you can name it whatever you want. But you would put your buy link right there. Then what happens is on your order page, instead of having the direct ClickBank link right there, this way people can't even tell that it's a ClickBank product, in other words. When they click the button, you're going to link to this placeorder.php. And when they purchase through that, when they click on that, it's going to then redirect them to the proper ClickBank link, and everything's going to happen seamlessly just like it would before. So the only difference is they can't tell by hovering over the button that it's a ClickBank product, and they can't see any kind of ClickBank information where they might be able to try to put in their own link or something like that. Okay, so that's something you want to consider. And you will see me do this in the hands-on tutorials. Okay, so that's basically it for the this session. What we're now going to do is in the next series of videos, they're going to be hands-on, you seeing me go through the whole process of setting up a new product and getting it approved. What I'm going to try to do here is split all these different steps up into different videos, so we're not trying to do too much at one time, and it's easy for you to refer back to it. if you get stuck on something or just need a refresher. So that being the case, we're going to go ahead and sign up for ClickBank now. I'm at clickbank.com. I'm going to click sign up. And you'll enter your details here. I'm going to block out some of the private information here. And for your account nickname, you want to use all lowercase letters. You can use numbers in there, between 5 and 10 digits. And then you want to read the terms and conditions here. Make sure you read all of that, okay? And then make sure I have read and agreed to the terms is checked. Click submit. Then they're going to send a confirmation code to you where you'll be able to click a link in there to complete the process. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'll put the video on pause. I'll go check my email and confirm that. I'll be right back. Okay, now in checking my email, what you get is a confirmation code and a link. So you copy the confirmation code to the clipboard and then click on the link, and then you'll come here and right-click and paste that confirmation code, and then do the CAPTCHA, and then click Finish. And as long as you got everything right, there you go. Your account has been set up. You get the account nickname and the password. You want to make a note of that because you're going to use it all the time, logging into your account. Okay, so that is getting the account. What we're going to do in the next video is take a look at the website that I've got set up, make sure everything is uploaded to it so we can move on to the next phase, all right? Now, I want to show you kind of where I'm at with my site here. First off, let me say I use Xsite Pro for a lot of this kind of stuff because of the way that it manages and makes things real easy. Just go to makesiteseasy.com and you'll see what I mean. But let me show you here real quick what I've got. Now, I will probably add a little bit more to this sales page after it gets approved. But to make the approval process go easier, I'm going to put like bare minimum stuff on here, right? So not a real long page. Stuff that I'm going to put on here is definitely just showing. It's a rough sketch, if you will, of what's going to be on here. But I'm definitely going to show what's included, stuff like that. I got pictures of the product, what's going to be covered. It's a 2-hour video course. It's actually going to be longer than that. In fact, let me tell you a little secret. I don't even have this product completely done yet, but I want to get it approved and on ClickBank so I can start getting things, moved along. So as of right now, it's about 2 hours long. Anything that comes with it, here's a little bonus that I'm giving, absolutely free. And then we've got ClickBank logo here, just saying payments processed by ClickBank. Remember, you got to be careful that you don't try to show that ClickBank is endorsing the product. And by saying payments processed by ClickBank, that is not saying that ClickBank is endorsing the product. So we're going to scroll down here. Here's the price. Nice and bright blue, big so they can see. Here's the add to cart button that I had that I made up, and I got a frequently asked questions section down here, just a couple of questions in there. You don't really have to have that. That's not a requirement. I'm just putting it in there as something to add to the credibility of the site. 60-day money-back guaranteed show in several places here. I got money-back guarantee. I've got up here, I'm going to give you a 60-day 60 days to evaluate the training. You'll love it or get your money back. That's pretty much it, right? Now, here's the thing. We've got the sales page itself done. And by the way, I'm using these credit card logos here because that's another thing that lends credibility to the site. But we've got the sales page. Now, the trick is, here is, and you'll notice the funny name that I gave this page right here. This is the thank you page where they can download everything. Pretty straightforward. Let's go over the content of the page itself. It says thank you for your order. Simply click on the Watch Online link beside one of the video names to watch online, and you can see I've got a couple of those done here. I don't have all of these uploaded and even linked right now. You can see lots of videos going to be there, right? But the Watch Online, that's where they will click to watch it. there is also a way that they can download the video, and I've got specific instructions on how they would do that. Also, right here, this is important. If you have any questions or require assistance, please send us an email to, and then you have the email address totally spelled out. You can't just have a link. Like right here, you have a link to download something. That's fine. But for the email address, you have to have it totally spelled out and visible. Allow us 24 hours to respond, and then we start into the delivery of the content. Now, special thing about this page. Xsite Pro, the way it's a site manager. Okay, it lets you create. Basically, this is what the pages are going to look like. Okay, so it puts all the graphics in there for you and lays everything out. And then at the bottom, there will even be a footer, all that stuff. And it does it for all the pages automatically. That's why I love using this program. But it lets you, on each page, you just focus on the content for that page, and then it's going to plug it in where it's appropriate. Okay, but in addition to that, here on my thank you page, which remember I've done a very obscure name so that nobody could guess what that is. Also on page settings, I deselected add this page to my sitemap because I obviously don't want people to go to the sitemap and then see the download page, right? So I turned that off, and then under advanced settings, check this out, search engine sitemaps. You can click to exclude this page from the XML sitemap. What that's going to do is prevent it from showing up. Also, robots. I deselected all of these options so that robots cannot find the page. So it's going to keep them from indexing it, so people won't be able to do a search and my thank you page come up in the results. Very, very important. Because a lot of people make the mistake of not doing that, and then lo and behold, their thank you page shows up in search engine results, and people just download the thing all day long. All right, now I've got a few other pages, nothing that's going to be really of interest to us right now, articles, resources, news, all this stuff that I'm going to add later. I do have a contact page, contact us, phone number, and email address. And then I do have a sitemap. And that's basically it. So now I'm going to go ahead and publish this site. Are you sure you want to publish? Yes. And it's going to upload everything. I'll tell you what, I will just put this on pause because right now the site does not have anything there. So I'm going to put this on pause and I'll be right back. All right, and it has finished, so let's go ahead, and you can't open up the website, but I already got a browser open, so I'm going to click OK. And just go back to the site there. Let's go killerphotoshoptechniques.com, and let's see what we get. All right, there is the site. And as you can see, now what I haven't done yet is the add to cart button doesn't work. It's in op right now because we have to get the site up. I kind of like to work in stages anyways, you know, get it going a little bit and upload it, take a look at it, and then do the next thing. So that's it. The nice thing is now if I go to the sitemap, my thank you page, this is having a sitemap is very important for search engine optimization, but my thank you page is not shown here. So it's not indexed. People won't be able to find it accidentally. And that's pretty much going to be it. Okay. What is going to happen in the next videos, now that we've got the site up, we're going to go back to ClickBank. We're going to create that buy link, and you'll see me add it to the button, and we'll just take things to the next step. That'll be in the next video. Now, before we move on to ClickBank, there's a couple of things that I want to address that I forgot to mention here. I actually forgot to add this to my page. It's very, very important. First off, on the actual pitch page, you do want to tell them the format that they'll receive the product in. Order today and start mastering Photoshop right away. Get instant access to the entire 2-hour video course, which is delivered as Flash video so that it is compatible with all modern computer systems. Well, actually, let's say so compatible with PCs and Macs. We'll do it that way. And then the other thing that's very important, on the thank you page, we're at right after thank you for your order, your purchase will show on your credit. Actually, let's do it this way. Your purchase will show a charge by ClickBank or ClickBank.com on either your credit card or bank statement. And the reason that they put that in there is because when someone does the transaction, as far as they're concerned, most of the time they kind of think that it's you that they're buying from exclusively. They don't realize the relationship of a payment processor. So when they get their statement and they see this charge for a ClickBank, they're like, you know, hey, who is that? What was that I bought? This way, though, they can kind of have a jog there when they review their statement. Oh, yeah, they told me it was going to be ClickBank. Okay, very important factors there. Just wanted to make sure that I get those in because they will send you back a note if you try to get approval without that little statement in there. They will send you back a note saying to add that in there. So let's go ahead and save that. And I will republish. And while that is publishing, we can go ahead and log in over here at ClickBank. And now it is time to go ahead and get the ball rolling, so to speak, so that we, can actually get the payment link and get things going. So I'm going to check on account settings and go to my products. And we want to do right now a standard product. You do have the ability to do recurring billing products, like maybe a newsletter or a monthly membership, that kind of thing. We're just going to stick with standard right now. Click Add New Product. Item number 1, and here we have to put in the thank you page. All right, so what I'm going to do is get the URL of the thank you page, paste that in there, and then the product price. I can't remember what I said I was going to charge for this. I think $47, right? Yep, $47. So $47. Product title, Killer Photoshop Techniques. And we will save that. Okay, and as you can see right here, it says approval request required because I have not, with this account, I don't have a previous relationship with them. So I've got to get that, make an approval there. But before we do that, there's one very important step, and that is creating the buy button, the add to cart button, so that we can put that on the site, because that all has to be working. Before you submit the product for ClickBank approval, the whole site has to be 100% working. Now, here's how you do it. I'm going to go back to Xsite Pro here. And we're going to go to the sales page, the pitch page. And for this button right here, we know now that this is item 1, okay, because we just created it. So for this button right here, we're going to click that. And whatever program you're using to make your pages, that's, it's kind of like, it's not going to be exactly the same way that I'm doing it here, but you get the idea. You have to make a link. And all you have to do is for your URL, HTTP. We'll be looking at a way to cloak this later on, but for now, we're going to get it working. The item number is number 1, dot, and then your hop link. That is just like your ClickBank ID. Okay, so Jeremy714 dot pay dot clickbank dot net. And I tell you what, I'm going to use that here in a minute again, so I'll just copy it. Click OK. That is now a clickable link. I'm going to do the same right here in case somebody does not have graphics enabled. This way I just have a text-only version. Paste that in there. And we'll click Save. And let's go ahead and publish this again. Should just be just that one page that has to be uploaded. That's one thing that's real nice about XI Pro is it manages what has been updated and only updates what needs to be updated. And that's it. Let's now refresh. And that is a clickable link, as is that. We can go ahead and test her out now. Click Add to Cart. That takes us to the order form. Now, the account hasn't been activated. And we're going to have to use a test credit card in order to actually process this, right? So let me show you how we do that. First off, we're going to go back to ClickBank. Go to My Site. And we're going to scroll down here. See this where it says Test Credit Card Number. To generate a test credit card, click Edit. So we're going to click that. Generate new card number. And we'll do the CAPTCHA here. Now, here is a card number that we will be able to use. I'm going to copy this to Notepad. But we will be able to use this to do a test on the ClickBank order form. And no, this is not a legitimate card, so you can't go spend happy with it. All right, I've got that copied, and in fact, you'll see here, this test credit card can only be used on the ClickBank order form to test the entire order process until 2:25, 8:20 a.m. Basically, they're giving me around 24 hours to do that. Okay, we can go ahead and close that. And we'll go back here to the order form. Now we can use that information to make a test purchase here. Use your own information that you used at ClickBank. And let me paste in the credit card details there. 10 of 2010 and 230. All that information I got from the test card generator. Okay, thank you. Your payment was approved. This was a test mode purchase. That just shows up there while you're still in test mode. Okay, and we just complete the order. And that should take us to the delivery page where we can now see, thank you for your order. The charge shows ClickBank, all that kind of stuff, and they can download the product. Okay, so we have at this point tested that everything is functioning. What is left for us to do, we've met all the requirements, right? And what's left for us to do is to make the request of approval. But before I do that, I need to finish uploading all of these videos and create the links there so people can watch and download. Okay, I'll do that behind the scenes, and in the next video, we'll go ahead and request approval and see what happens. Okay, I've got everything set up now, ready to request approval. So what I want to do first is inside My Site, you want to set some default options here real quick, and you can see under the marketplace information, I'm going to click Edit. And we're going to do a category. This is so that your site is going to show up, your product is going to show up in the marketplace. So for this, we're going to do computers, and then there will be a subcategory of graphics, hoplink target URL. That is simply the pitch page or the sales page for the main product, your first product. Killer Photoshop techniques.com. And in the marketplace title, what you want people to see as affiliates, what you want them to see when they're looking through the marketplace. For this does not, this isn't going to hinge on your approval or not, or I should say your approval doesn't hinge on this, but it's a good idea to put this kind of stuff in here. Learn Photoshop. Let's do something a little more. Learn big movie Photoshop techniques. 50% commission. Yeah, put that in there so that they can see, the affiliates can see that they're going to get some money. Over 2 hours of high-end Photoshop video tutorials that your customers will love. $47 product with 50% commission. And then for the commission rate there, you put whatever you want, you want to put. I'm going to put 50% on this one. Save. And we're good to go on that. I'm going to go back to my products. And right over here, submit product approval request for this product. So I'll click on that. And you want to have made sure that you did that test purchase because they're fixing to ask you here in just a second. So the product's pitch page, if different from your hoplink target URL, which it's not. That's why we just set that. So this is my main product. Photoshop video tutorials. You just want to tell them kind of what it is. You don't have to be, it's not a sales pitch. You just want to tell the evaluator what your product is. Are you the creator? Yes. Or if you got a license, you put that information here. Do your product promotions match all of our guidelines? Say yes, definitely. If you say no, they're going to say, well, then go fix it. If your website contains endorsements and or testimonials, do they comply with the FTC endorsement guidelines? Not applicable because I'm not even using endorsements and or testimonials. For that very reason, I steer clear of that FTC stuff. Did you make a test purchase? Yes, you have to make sure that you have done that. Delivery method. Instant download via thank you page. Okay, so that just tells them they're going to come to the thank you page and they're going to be able to download right there from that page. They really like the customer getting the product very, very quickly, getting access to the product quickly. Delivery speed, instant. Any comments? More than likely you don't need any. Submit the product approval request. And again, it says within the next 3 business days. I've had it sometimes the same day. I have had it literally take 3 days. So you never know what you're going to get. Depends on their workload. So we click OK, and that's it. And we're at approval requested. And that's the end of what we're going to be doing until we get a response from them. So we'll know hopefully very quickly. They're going to evaluate the page. They're going to make sure that we fit all the guidelines. And then if there are any changes we have to make, they'll give us instructions on what to do. So the next time you hear from me, we'll have some news back from ClickBank. All right, I have actually gotten a response back from ClickBank next day. You can see I did my test sale on the 24th. That's the day that we actually submitted the product for approval. And here on the 25th, I got a reply from them. Let me click on the message. And this is kind of a new one for me, but there's some interesting stuff here. They're saying, could you please add the following disclaimer to your pitch page and thank you page? Notice what it is that they're requesting here. This site and the products and services offered on this site are not associated, affiliated, endorsed, or sponsored by Adobe Systems Incorporated, nor have they been reviewed, tested, or certified by Adobe Systems Incorporated. Please advise when this has been added. So, in other words, they want me to take this little blurb right here, and I'll copy that. And they want me to add that to my pitch page and my thank you page. What that means is that as far as ClickBank is concerned, all of the requirements that they typically required for a standard product, we have totally met. The exception here is because the product that we're selling is it has Photoshop training, so it's associated with Adobe. They want us to have this disclaimer on there about Adobe so that there's no representation that we are associated with Adobe or anything like that. And that's fine. It's not tough. I will tell you a little secret, though. I have other ClickBank products that are on Photoshop, and they never asked me to do this before. But to a great degree, it could have to do with the particular person who is reviewing your product. That's fine, though. Let's go ahead and let me open up my editor. And all that they want us to do is add that disclaimer. And I'll go ahead and put it. Let's put it right here. And we want to put it somewhere where it's real easy for them to see. All you need to do in Photoshop techniques. I'll put it. The thing is about this, let me just be honest with you here. You can put this on here, and after they approve you, you can pretty much change, all of the information and stuff like that as you deem fit. But I never told you that. So we'll just add that in there. They want it on the pitch page. And they want it on the thanks page. So that's fine. We will put it right here. So I've made those requested changes. I'm going to make sure that I publish this site, and then I'm not going to publish it right now. I'll do it here in a minute, but then you're going to come back here and reply and be real friendly with these people. What was her name? Megan. Yeah. Thanks, Megan. I've made the changes. Jeremy. And so that'll get sent, and hopefully it's still pretty early right here. I'm on the East Coast, so hopefully they'll get that pretty quick and get on it and get us word back. We should be fine now. All right, boys and girls, it is now the next day, February 26th, and look here. I'm checking my email. Got another message from ClickBank. Let's take a look at what it says. Thank you. That's the first mail. Here's my reply. Your account has been approved. To start making sales, simply log into your account and then follow the instructions for activations. So let's go ahead and log into the ClickBank account. So that wasn't all too bad. They just wanted a little disclaimer on there for Adobe, and they went ahead and approved the product. Let's go ahead and log in here. All right, congratulations. Your account has been approved for a price limit of $50. The last step is to activate your account. Now, by the way, for the most part, they start you out at $50 products. So that means products that I'll be adding here, I've kind of got a limit to what I can charge right now. However, it's my experience that if you needed to, you could do products up to $100 if you simply ask. So in other words, you just say, I got a product that I want to sell for $77. Can we work something out here? For the most part, they generally will do that. And then to go above that, which they will do, but to go above that, usually you got to have a pretty good relationship with them. In other words, they see, things coming in and not getting real high refunds, stuff like that. They see you making sales and all that. To activate your card, or to activate by card or PayPal, click here, because you got to pay that $49.95 activation fee to actually get activated, right? Let's go ahead and do that real quick. And what I will do is just enter my information here. I'll pause the video, fill out all this information, and I'll be back when we're done. Okay, now that wasn't all that bad. I'm back here. Congratulations, your account is now active. And if I go over to my products, you will see approved as the status for that particular product. Now, what we want to do in the next few videos is I want to talk to you about some advanced techniques for getting products on ClickBank. For example, having an OTO, a one-time offer, and how you would go about getting that taken care of here, where people can pick. They come to your sales page, they see the offer, they click that they want to order it, but then they go to another page that says thank you for your interest here, and then it tells them about something else. Here's a one-time offer for you. And then at the bottom, you're going to have two payment buttons, one for yes, add this to my order, and one for no, I just want my original order. And I'll show you how to do that and what you do here in ClickBank. That'll be in the next video. All right, now wasn't that exciting getting your first product approved on ClickBank? And pretty straightforward. However, we're going to step things up a little bit. I'm going to show you a little more advanced marketing strategy of what we need to do after we get a product online. Because if you really want to make some big bucks, you're not going to do it with just one product. I'll tell you that right now. What we're going to talk about is the process of getting an OTO through ClickBank. And what is an OTO? OTO stands for one-time offer. It is an upsell. After somebody has made a purchase, or they've said, essentially that they want to purchase, we immediately offer them a very special offer. Something that, in the case of an OTO, it's the only time they're going to receive that offer. We let them know. This is the only time you're going to see this message. Then, essentially what they can do is add that to their order, right? It's kind of like combining it with what they've already said that they want to order. Why do you want to do something like this? Well, because once somebody has, there's a lot of barriers to overcome in getting somebody to buy something from you online. And once they have made the decision, yes, I'm going to buy it, and they click that buy button, they are in a frame of mind that it's easier for us to sell them something else. And that means that we will make more money because they have just now overcome all of those hurdles. And it's pretty simple to just they're right on the cliff, so to speak. And it's pretty simple to just give them a little shove and they will take the plunge. So having an OTO, it's going to essentially get you more revenue. You will find typically, on average, with my OTO offers, I'm looking at least 50, sometimes as much as 65% of the people decide to go ahead and go with the OTO. Meaning that's money left on the table if I didn't have the OTO. So for example, let's say that I'm selling one product for $47. They click the button to buy it, and instead of going to the order form, they come to another page that says, look, this is the only time you're going to see this. I want to talk to you about another problem that is related to, whatever the product is that you're selling. And it's essentially another sales page. At the bottom, what they get is there's two links. One that says, yes, add this to my order, and one that says, no thanks, I'm okay with just the original product. Well, if they click either one of those, they're going to go to a ClickBank processing form for that specific product. And then they also get sent back to the thank you page specifically designed for that offer, whether it's the original offer or the original offer with the OTO. And I'm going to show you how to set all that up, kind of diagram it for you. Here's the process, though. First thing you do is get your initial product approved. And just as a word of advice here, I highly recommend that you always have an OTO. Always have something else that you can sell that is, it goes well combined with the original offer. Just as an example, let's say you were doing an ebook, okay, on anything. It could be an ebook on whatever. And you made also a set of videos that is the same training, but it maybe supplements the ebook, right? Or it's easier to watch, whatever. So here's what you do on your home page, on your sales page. You've got the sales pitch for the ebook. Once they go ahead and say, yeah, you know what, I want to get this. I want to buy this ebook for $27. Then you have the OTO where it says, hey, wait a second. This is the only time you're going to see this offer. I also have a video series for this that I can give you for an extra $30. And show them, nice picture of the DVD set. Even though it's going to be downloaded, you're just kind of showing them what they're getting. So now it's going to be a $57 product. Chances are on something like that, you kind of get them with the low price initially, and then chances are they've overcome those hurdles. They're going to be very willing to go ahead and dive in and pay the extra $30 to get a video version of the same thing. Then what happens is they click yes, add this to my order, and they go to a ClickBank page where they process that $57 transaction, and then they go to a download page set up specifically for that. It has the ebook where they can download it, and it has all of the videos. Okay, so first thing we've got to do is get that initial product approved. So in that example, it would be that ebook. Once that is approved, we're going to set up another sales page for the OTO with only one buy link right now. The reason that we're doing that is because ClickBank can be a little bit temperamental. The people viewing or reviewing your sales pitch and all that kind of stuff, they can be a little bit touchy at times. And it's not to say anything we're doing is wrong. It's not. It's perfectly fine and ethical. But we don't want any hurdles that we have to overcome in trying to explain to those ClickBank people how we do business. So all you put on that sales page for the OTO is just the one buy link that's going to include everything. Fair enough? Now we create another thank you page that is for the OTO and the original product. Incidentally, on the sales page for the OTO, you want to review briefly what the original order is going to include and then kind of supplement what the OTO is going to offer in addition to that. That way when they click the buy button, because really as far as ClickBank is concerned, this is a totally separate product. So you supplement on the sales page what the original product is, and then you build up why they need the OTO. Same thing on the thank you page. You want to make sure you follow all the guidelines for a thank you page for ClickBank, and then show them what they're getting. They're getting the original product, and they're getting the OTO. You have to repeat everything. Has to have the email there, everything. Because people will not see both thank you pages. They're only going to see one or the other, depending on which route they take. So it's very important that you have the same information as far as ClickBank is concerned, those requirements that we've already gone over. And you're going to see an actual graphical representation of all of this. It'll kind of put the pieces together for you a little bit better. And then add the OTO product to ClickBank. So this is going to be product number 2. That's a pretty straightforward process. You might have to do a little email dialogue back and forth with them. But you've got to get your amount increased because they're going to start you out at $50. And I mean, granted, it doesn't matter. You might be selling a $10 product and have a $20 upsell, and then you're fine. You're going to have a $30 combined product. But chances are, don't do that. Don't waste your time. Either way, you're going to have to eventually get that increased. I recommend you do $100 because this is going to be a $97 product in the example that you see me use here. But it's pretty easy. I have found it's pretty easy. Just ask and explain, why I need $100 limit because it's a product that's got a lot of this and whatever. I'm bundling some things with it, whatever you want to do, but it's pretty easy to get them to approve $100. And they can't even go beyond that, but usually they want to have a relationship with you first. So we're going to request that it be bumped up to $100. And then what I'm going to do in this example is I've got my $47 main product, and then I am adding the OTO, and the OTO and the original product together are going to be $97. Okay, simple enough. Upon approval, once they approve your product, this is a nice thing. ClickBank, once they approve things, they don't really go back and check things over that that you might have changed things, and there's nothing to say that you can't. All that we're doing here is we're going to then go back to our original product, the very first one, and we're going to change that buy link. It's no longer going to be our ClickBank hop link. What it's going to be instead is a link to the OTO page. Really simple there. So this time when they click buy, it just takes them to the OTO, and that's just a page that's named something else, right? You can name it whatever you want. Name it special offer, And then on that page, that now becomes the page where they can actually order. And on the OTO page, remember that what we did on the OTO page is we just have the buy button, just the one buy link for the OTO product. Well, now we're going to leave that on there, and we're going to add no continue. Okay, I'm just kind of abbreviating that for you. It's not, there'll be a little more to it than that. You'll see the dialogue that I use. But what that means is that when people go through the OTO, the sales page, they get to the bottom where they can order, and they either click, yes, I want to add this to my order, and they're going to pay, the higher price to get both products, or you say, no, I don't need to have this added to my order, and then they're just going to go to the original product by itself and order. Now, here is the first page. This is like our sales page for the main product, right? And you can see here it's $47. This happens to be a recurring product, $47 a month. That's irrelevant. It doesn't matter to us, right? But the point is that they click the add to cart button. And I have a link version, text link version, and I have a button version. Only reason for that is that just in case they have graphics turned off, I want to make sure that they do see the text add to cart and they can click on it. But what that does is that takes them to the OTO page. Let's take a look at what they see here. They see the notice. This is the only time you'll ever see this page, so please read it very carefully. They can go on and continue and read the rest of the page. And then at the bottom, check this out. It describes, again, everything that they're going to get. Build a one-time payment today of $94 for both the targeted traffic video course, $47 plus my first membership of another $47, whatever. Your prices may vary, okay? But the point is here, it says add to cart, and then look below this. No thanks. I already know how to get hordes of free traffic, blah, blah, blah. And again, this is something it's a product that's going to complement your original product. Ideally, that's what you want. Okay, now here's the graphical representation so that you can see what we got going on here. And I'm going to go ahead and set this up on the sample site that I've been talking to you about, and we will go over it. You'll see how that looks from the ClickBank side of it. But let's just go through it. First, we've got the sales page with the Add to Cart button, $47. And then, and I know I did my math wrong on some of these, but that's okay. You'll get the idea. They click that button. They get taken to the OTO sales page. Here we've got the two links, $97 for if they take the OTO, $47 if they just stick with the original product. So let's follow this route. They stick with the original product, say, no thanks, I don't need it, $47. They go to ClickBank, product 1. $47, they go to the thank you page for product 1. Let's go back. Now, it's important with the OTO that you actually follow that. I mean, that's it. If you say this is a one-time offer, only time you'll ever see that, don't present it to them again, at least not in that same way. You might bundle it with something else, but don't present it to them in the same way in the future. So this time they say, yeah, $97, I'll take it. They go to ClickBank Product 2. Now, what Product 2 includes is both products. So you create a second product in ClickBank, but that product includes both of your products. It includes the original one and the one-time offer. So now they pay the $97. They get taken to the thank you page for Product 2, which includes Product 1. They can download both of them right there on the same landing page or the same thank you page. Okay, now hopefully that makes real good sense to you. An OTO, listen to me. If you haven't been paying attention, you want to pay attention right now. We're talking about super increase in your bottom line by having this OTO in there. It's going to be money left on the table if you don't do it. Once these people have committed to buy from you, they're going to be like 100 times over more prone to spend more money with you right then. They're in a buying mood. They've basically probably already got their credit card whipped out and ready to do it. It's kind of like there is it's a technique. I forget what it's called. Car salesmen use it all the time. Okay, you go into the car lot, you pick out the car that you want. You're hemming and hawing over whether you want to pay, $500 a month for this car, and you decide, okay, I'm going to do it. You might even, squeeze them on the price a little bit, try to get it down to $475 a month, something like that. But here's what's going to happen when you go into the financing manager's office. He's going to show you the terms of the car and what you're going to pay, and then he's going to show you some options. He's going to show you some an extended warranty that you can buy. He's going to show you some kind of interior protection, exterior protection, tire warranty, all kinds of extra add-ons that'll easily add $100 a month to your payment. You know what's going to happen, though? More than likely, you are going to take one of them. More than likely. And that technique is very powerful because once somebody has said, yes, I'll buy, it's really easy to get them to do these little add-ons. And these add-ons is just extra money in your pocket. Okay, so it's very important. I want you to focus on that. Up next, what we're going to do is I will go ahead. I don't have to repeat all the stuff for you because you've already seen how to add products and stuff. But I will go ahead and kind of behind the scenes here, add all of that stuff in there and see what ClickBank does with the approval. A lot of times they don't require, or at least sometimes I would say they don't require approval within the same kind of product. And we'll see what happens with that when I actually do submit it. A lot of times they'll just give it to you. But the request for increasing your limit, that definitely does need to get approval. So I'll submit that and we'll see what happens. So I'll go do that. I'll see you in the next video.